Welcome to Sustainability Soundbites, presented by E&E Leader. Illinois requires PFAS sampling in wastewater, biosolids. Illinois has not set a new PFAS wastewater limit. It has done something that may come first, requiring the monitoring data needed to see where PFAS is moving through the state's wastewater system. Governor J.B. Pritzker signed SB 3917 on July 31st, making it Public Act 104-0747, after the measure passed the Illinois Senate 54-0. The law requires PFAS sampling in certain National Pollutant Discharge Elimination System permits and extends monitoring requirements to sludge and biosolids destined for land application. For industrial operators, the immediate change is monitoring rather than a new PFAS discharge limit, but recurring sampling can bring its own regulatory exposure by giving treatment plants and regulators more information about PFAS moving through wastewater systems, potentially providing a foundation for future source control decisions. Under the law, NPDES permits for major publicly owned treatment works and privately owned sewage treatment works must include periodic PFAS sampling of influent, effluent, and biosolids for compounds with accredited wastewater analytical methods. Major industrial facilities are subject to periodic PFAS sampling of their effluent, and Illinois EPA must require an NPDES applicant to characterize its discharge when the wastewater has potential to contain PFAS. That produces visibility at multiple points in the wastewater chain. Influent testing shows what is arriving at a treatment plant. Effluent testing shows what remains in treated wastewater, and biosolids testing tracks another pathway for PFAS leaving the treatment process. Wastewater treatment plants generally do not manufacture PFAS. The chemicals enter collection systems through industrial discharges, commercial activity, consumer products, landfill leachate, and other sources. For manufacturers and other industrial sewer users, that changes the value of knowing what is in their own wastewater before questions arrive from downstream, particularly for companies where PFAS enters operations through coatings, processing aids, lubricants, packaging, or other supplier-provided materials, never treated internally as a wastewater compliance issue. SB 3917 extends sampling into Illinois' regulation of sludge and biosolids as well. Illinois EPA cannot issue specified permits for land application of sludge or biosolids unless the application includes PFAS sampling results, and covered permits must include periodic sampling going forward. PFAS does not disappear when wastewater reaches a treatment plant. Some compounds remain in treated effluent, while others become associated with sewage sludge and biosolids, a pathway other states are moving to regulate directly. If monitoring reveals persistent PFAS concentrations in biosolids, utilities may have greater reason to investigate incoming sources and assess whether existing management practices remain viable as regulation evolves, a concern already visible in nationwide sampling near treatment plants and biosolid application sites. The legislation also provides a path toward less frequent sampling for facilities that repeatedly do not detect PFAS. A permittee may request reduced sampling after monitoring shows PFAS have not been detected above the minimum level of quantification for 2 consecutive years, at which point Illinois EPA may modify the permit to reduce sampling frequency. Companies that can demonstrate consistently non-detectable results may eventually reduce their monitoring burden, while facilities with recurring detections stay visible within the state's expanding PFAS dataset, joining a broader push in Illinois that has already restricted PFAS in consumer products sold in the state. SB 3917 should not be treated as a new PFAS discharge standard. It does not establish a universal numerical wastewater limit or make every detection a permit violation. Its significance is what Illinois will know after the monitoring begins. The immediate compliance requirement is sampling. The longer-term risk is what the resulting data reveals. Interested in a soundbite sponsorship? Check out the energy category, currently sponsored by Amazon. Reach out to our team for more information. Thank you for listening.